Hello, rock stars. It's Rick with In the Pit. Welcome. That sucked, Mr. Rose. Fuck.
But I'm
Let's start again at 50.
Bit of this.
Shut up.
Bit of it, I keep.
Hello, rock stars. Welcome to In the Pit. I'm your host, Rick, and welcome to another exciting, I guess it's an adventure this week. I'm stoked. We've got David from Graceland Ninjaz on the show. How are you? Oh,
what's up, man? I'm doing fine. How you doing, Rick? Good to see you, man.
Dude, now I cannot go to Vegas and not see Elvis and be like, dude, some Kung Fu? Come on.
Oh, some Kung Fu. You know, it's like peanut butter and jelly. You got to have Kung Fu. You got Elvis.
Oh, my God. I'm you know I'm going to ask the inevitable. How did you come up with that? That is awesome.
Well, I grew up a big fan. First of all, thank you for having me on the show. This is great.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. By the way, before we ask, I got a million questions I want to ask you. How have you been?
I've been fine, man. I've been fine. I mean, like everybody else, we've been struggling through all this, but the last year was actually, it ended up being the second busiest year for Graceland Ninjaz since the band was formed, which it started out like 2020 was clearly the most dismal. And all of a sudden, everybody just like, whoo, let's do it. Let's rock. And so it ended up on a real high note. And now it's 2022 is looking good too.
And the nice part about it is you're one of the few bands that did not say, oh, we're just going to go on a hiatus. You guys actually kept playing. You did keep performing.
We did. On even 2020, I think we did 8 shows. They were all just outdoor, large kind of things. Yeah. And then we put on, I think, 9 streaming virtual shows and just had to keep learning and keep trying new stuff. And, you know, isn't
it sad? Because I think we all went through that, you know, both, you know, Rebel Yell and Basket Case. You know, you got this calendar and all of a sudden it's like, this one's cut, that one's cut. Oh, that one's out. And it's like, you're killing me here, you know, but we got to play. Unlike other parts of the country that were completely shut down. Yeah. I've got friends all over the country and they're like, Rick, how are you still playing shows? I'm like, I'm in Texas.
Yeah. We took extreme caution. You know, I mean, I was wearing the mask until I was singing. Yep. I saw a couple of bands actually try to sing with mask songs. Like, no, that does not work. You can't do that. But, you know, you just got to take every precaution and you just can't stop. You got to keep moving forward. And we learned a lot in the process and it was fun, you know, overall, making
Ginger from Metal Shop, bass player, still wears the mask.
Yeah.
He does, and he will sing through it, which is obviously it's a backing vocal, but it doesn't matter. It's, you know, safety first, you know, and he has matching. I love he's got matching masks for whatever outfit he's got on, and I'm like, that is so awesome.
I'm a big Kiss fan, so I grew up with like the whole idea of your face being covered anyway. So I'm just like, maybe I'll just start wearing a mask with like Gene's face on it or something like that.
My favorite one was I have a Darth Vader mask. It has Darth Vader on the front with like the lightsaber, so it's like a skull and crossbones.
I can do Grogu.
And, I know. And I will tell you, I'm a juvenile. I'm like a little kid. The fact that I could go in the grocery store or the liquor store with like sunglasses, a hoodie, and a mask, and nobody even bats an eyelash. They're just like, whatever. Everyone's got I'm such a little child.
You got to have fun because life's going to throw you some curveballs. You got to be ready for a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of watch out now.
I want to be a ninja now.
It happens. You got to be ready.
Oh, you know what's, and it's funny because we were talking off camera. I remember my first show was actually House of Blues a few years ago, and I was like,
a ninja show.
Yes, Graceland.
Awesome.
And I was not my first Graceland Ninja show. And I remember meeting you guys, and it's a blur for those of you that are not musicians. We will tell you when we're on stage performance night, it is literally like, whoa,
yes.
You know, you're like on the bullet train or something, and you meet a lot of people and you smile, but honestly, at the end of the night, you're like, who was that? Who did I meet? It's nothing personal.
Yeah. I'm very thankful that the band's been together for 11 years now. And there's people that I do sincerely know and consider them my friends, you know, from seeing them come to show after show. But after a big House of Blues kind of show, you got anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 people, depending on the turnout. And just being on that stage, the first time I walked on that stage, I was just like, I wish I was physically larger. I feel so small on this stage. And then after a while, I got used to it. But then you're meeting all these people, and then there used to be after parties upstairs, and it does turn into a blur. But I'm thankful we did it 16 times, and they sent us coast to coast as well, and did a bunch in Vegas. And I'm thankful for each and every one of those that happened. It was.
You know, it's funny is you say you wish it was big, that you were bigger.
Yeah, it's like,
dude. As much as you move around, I'm glad you got a lot of stage because I'm telling you, you have as much energy as I do. And I'm like, holy cow! Like,
well,
like not pay attention, you'll get run over on stage.
Yeah. But spoiler alert for the young people here, it's all about the cardio. You got to keep your cardio strong. I'm a mountain biker. I ride every single week, no matter that, no matter, unless the trails are just wet, I'm on the trails every single week. And that's my secret sauce, but you got to find your secret sauce and keep that heart pumping strong.
Wait a second. Well, okay, folks, we just saw a squirrel. We're going to go sidetrack here for a second. So I love it. This is going to be a great show. You're a mountain biker.
Yeah, man.
Do you ever ride Do you ever do Rowlett Creek?
I just rode it 2 days ago. Yeah.
Okay. So that's just up the street from my house because I live in Rowlett. And I've got a Motorbicane hardtail. And then I've actually got a road bike too because I like to cycle, although I haven't been as much lately. But yes, cardio is everything. Now, do you do the whole, what is it? It used to be 15 miles. I know they've amended a lot of it on the south side. I think it's like down to 11. Is that close?
Yeah, it's exactly 11 miles. If you do this, what I do is the whole south side and a little bit on the north side, and it comes out to exactly 11 miles. Yeah.
Dude, north side is it. I always start on the north side so that when I'm tired, the south side's easy.
Yeah. The technical crossings are just like... And then,
there's a couple nice drops too on the north side.
And I ride North Shore, I ride Oak Cliff Nature Preserve and Boulder. Those are the ones that I always go to in Rowlett. Those trails.
I will tell you, I will get off my lazy butt, especially as we go into spring, and I'll get my cardio back up to where it should be. We'll get to go ride. I mean, you might be like, Rick, keep up, and I'm like, can we slow down?
No, let's do it. I'm not a bullet guy. I'm all about the quality. I'm not about like seeing how fast I can go necessarily. But I have small kids, so I can never ever ride on the weekends because I'm very involved dad.
Yes.
So I always ride. I'm an entrepreneur, so I have flexibility during the week. So if you ever have flexibility during the week, that's when
I work from home. So I've got, we can definitely, let me get my butt in shape. And here in the next, next month or so, as the weather warms up, I'll get out there. And it's funny because I go to Dorba and look at the trails like religiously. And for those of you that don't know, it's Dallas, is it Dorba, Dallas area, the trails, they monitor because people go out and volunteer. Yes. You know what I'm talking about.
Off-Road Biking Association.
Yes. Thank you very much. And for those of you that want to ride and don't know about it, go look it up.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great resource for finding trails and see the condition of them before you get out there and you're bogged down in mud and you're like, this sucks. Like
exactly, because then you're messing up your bike, you're destroying the trails. So just wait until it's dry. And also, fun fact: Oak Cliff Nature Preserve rarely gets complete. In Boulder, there's so much limestone over there that if it's wet on our side of town, north side of town, wherever you are. I'm on the north side of town. Then you can get over there and ride. I grew up
Okay, so I haven't done Oak Cliff, but we used to also go up to McKinney and ride. Oh God, what's the name of that one? Oh, that's a fun trail. Once you go downhill, it's a lot of uphill. And then we went up to just north of Louisville. There's a good one up there. God, it's been a few years. I stay local. Like I don't, and lately I've been on my road bike just because cycling is great for your heart. Get out there, do some cardio. And as a drummer, I'm all about cardio because ever see me play drums for 90 minutes? It's the ticker is working. I promise you.
And that's why you're in basket case.
Oh, good Lord, man. It's
a lot of drumming there.
Thank you very much. Yeah. As we digress. So let's get back to Graceland because I got a zillion questions. And I think I started off the show going, how did you come up with the whole Elvis Ninja, Graceland Ninjaz? That is brilliant.
Well, thank you. I got to say that I grew up a big fan of the King of Rock and Roll and a Hound Dog, as much as the next person, but I was really more of a Kiss guy. Growing up, I liked like disco music sung by black ladies. That was my favorite, and Kiss.
Nice.
And then as I got older, I got into hip hop. And so I was raised on, Metallica and then Snoop and all that good stuff.
Nice.
And and then just some buddies of mine started kicking around some ideas, guys I had performed with for many years, Jason Gonzalez and John Kenny. And we're just like, let's make a band that we're all songwriters. And let's make a band where we can actually do some of our original music, but then do the music that we really love too, the music that influenced us for the kind of songs that we write. Yeah. And we got to where we're doing a lot of mashups. That wasn't originally the first idea. We were one of the things that we kicked around was calling it the Doors of Graceland and do all like Elvis music and Doors or something like that. We came up with some ideas, but it was awesome. Yeah, it was my 13-year-old niece who finally said, we had Graceland, should be Graceland Rejects, Graceland something, I don't know. And she said, ninjas, everybody loves ninjas. So now she's 10 years, 11 years older, and now she's getting to get married, and she wants to know if she gets a discount on her wedding since she pretty much named the band. It wouldn't be the same without the ninjas. And I said, yeah, absolutely.
Just say, dude, it's brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. And to see you do you dress up in your Elvis garb, and I'm like, oh man. Okay, you just said a second ago, John Kenny from Epic Unplugged.
Yeah.
Okay, he's been on the show, and
cool.
And I will tell you, I didn't realize you guys were such good friends. Holy cow, I get it now. Talent seeks talent. You guys are wicked talented. He is wicked talented. The Epic Unplugged is another one that's like, wow, mind blowing. And for those of you that haven't seen him, this is about Graceland Ninjaz, but go check out Epic Unplugged. I promise you will not be disappointed.
Not only John, but Hambone, their bass player, was the original bass player of Graceland Ninjaz. So,
you could, wow.
My thing is, there's so much talent in Dallas. Austin gets all the credit, but there's so much talent in Dallas, musical talent. It is ridiculous. Like, thankfully, I got hooked up with Jonathan Fisher, who's an amazing, he pretty much owns the bass, the jazz, cool cat kind of bass scene around here at the Balcony Club and places like that. And so now he's put me in touch with all kinds of guys that are just like jazz cats who can also rock. And I'm just like, my mind is blown by the amount of talent that is floating around here.
I was bored one day and I did a spider web. It started with myself, and I just did 2 degrees of separation. My band, who's in other bands, and I was blown away at how many Graceland Ninjaz is on there. By the way, 2 degrees, because where everybody's in multiple bands, like everybody is related. If you go out 3 degrees, 4 degrees. Like it almost encompasses the entire music scene. So I tell people, don't be a douchebag to people. Like everybody should try to get along, because believe it or not, we are all tied together one way or another. And yes, I did say we're tied together. We have part-time a new guitarist who is your guitarist, and he's always like, Rick, Ninjas are number one. And yes, we are talking about Shannon Sharp. He's a Green Day fan, but he's like, Ninjas are number one. I'm like, we're totally cool with that. But holy cow, I was like, I'm going to tell you right now, to be affiliated with you guys, I'm so flattered. Like, oh my God, we're like with the cool kids.
The whole scene is so incestuous, really. But when Shannon got in the band, he took it to another level. There's just no question about it. And then I'm very thankful to have Adrian Bahala, I believe is her mayor.
Yep.
And she's in the band, and I always want to call her Adrian Jarvis, her maiden name. And she's been.
And you got Rob.
Yeah. Well, no, Rob is not with us anymore.
Is he out?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen you lately, so you're like, Rick, pay attention. When I saw you guys had Rob. I didn't realize he had left the band.
No, Jonathan Fisher was actually at that House of Blues gig you're talking about, but you may not have noticed. He tends to stay at the back, but he also plays upright, which is nice. But anyhow, Adrian is amazing, and she's been with us since almost the beginning. Bobby Hope. Okay. Bobby?
Bobby. And yeah, Bobby's just coming back from his whole medical thing. I know Bobby really well. He's been on the show too.
Yeah, I consider Bobby like the godfather of Dallas independent music. I mean, he's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he helped forge the band and form the whole sound and everything. And now we have an amazing vocalist, Chrissy Winston from New Orleans, who comes in. And when we have Chrissy singing and Adrian both, it takes the whole thing to another level. Because my whole thing is like, this is my secret to success. I surround myself with people who are more talented than me, or at least as talented, preferably more talented than me, and let them do their thing. And then it just makes you look better if you're surrounded by super talented people. Isn't that amazing?
Absolutely.
So I mean, I just love it when they take the reins and sing lead, and I just strum guitar, sing some backings. And then I'm just like, I better follow that with a really strong song like Baby Sand. I'm going to look like a fool trying to follow them, But that's fun. I love that. I want it to be like a superhero band. Shannon's up there playing his solos and ripping and rocking, and Chrissy's doing her thing, Adrian's doing her thing, and it's just like the 4 real front people of the band are up there. The other ones that are in the back, they're back there for a reason. They are equally important. Jason Smith, our drummer, and John Hauser, who subs on keys. Bill Eden on sax, but they're all people who kind of like to hold it down. You need the people that like to hold it down and people who like to get up front and make a fool of themselves, No,
your rhythm section is solid. And again, you can't build a house on a marsh. You got to have a solid foundation.
Yes.
And I agree with you. I want to be the weakest link in the band, like me as a drummer. And everyone's like, oh, what are you talking about, Rick? Like, I know I do my job pretty well, but I want to be the weakest one in the band. Everybody else better be a rock star, just so I can I'll keep the ship going down the road. Where
Exactly.
Lake or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! And your show, if you go to a Graceland Ninja show, pay attention. There is not like dead air. Like something is always moving. You have to keep up, or you'll get left behind. It's incredible.
Well, the one thing for me is it's a 3-step reaction. It's like the Betty Ford Clinica process or whatever, 3-step process. The first step is, what is going on with these guys? I don't know if I like this. It's kind of weird. The second step is like, hold on now. That's kind of nice. Third step is like dogs and cats living together. People are humping posts. Just I'm loving this. Just like rock and roll, man. So that's the cold crowd. If it's someone who knows the band, they're like, they bring their friends and just like, wait to see what happens here.
Just wait.
Yeah. And then we go into Sir Mix-a-Lot or whatever, and they're just like, you can hear this audible gasp in the audience. Like, did they just do that?
I just want all y'all to hear. He said it's okay that I'm humping poles because that's a normal routine for me. I can go to a Graceland show. I can get away with it. You can't judge me.
Well, the first place that ever gave us a gig was House of Blues Dallas, which we will be eternally grateful for. But then
House of Blues.
Yeah, but then House of Blues, Lee Harvey's was the first place we actually performed. House of Blues booked us for New Year's that year, and then we played at Lee Harvey's. So Seth Smith, thank you. Without you, we wouldn't have our first gig. Yeah. And so to this day, we do an annual show at Lee Harvey's, just return to our roots kind of thing. And I always tell the crowd at the beginning, everybody's so nice and calm and polite right now, but in a little bit, someone will hump that post. That post will, because you're playing on a porch of a house and there's a tree growing through the house and everything. And every time, sooner or later, somebody is up on that post. I'm like, okay, let's reach this point. Here we go. Ding, 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 ding. I need like a fire.
Oh my God, you can't say that to me. I'm the guy that takes it all. I'm like, see, I have a pass. I can do, because I'm going to do that crap anyhow.
People want to have fun. We did a post not too long ago on Facebook. What are the 2 biggest terms that you would use to describe Graceland Ninjaz, or 2 or 3, whatever? And I was very pleasantly surprised to hear that number 1 was fun, because if you're not having fun in life, what's the point? And number 2 was musicianship. So I was like, hey, I can take those 2 in that order. I'm fine with that. Fun first, and then quality musicianship. If you're not having fun in whatever you're doing, and I think that's why the band has maintained this long, is because we all love doing it, and people can tell that, and then they get up and have a fun time. But
that's the key to success across the board. And even my bands, we're the same way. It's like, you got to have fun. This is about fun. Mm-hmm. And yes, musicianship needs to be there as well. But people want to have they want an escape from everyday reality, the humdrums of home and work, and they go out to have fun. Got to have fun. And if I've always told everybody, and you guys that watch the show, you're like, yeah, we've heard Rick. 3 rules. Number 1, when I get on stage, have fun. I play for me first. I'm selfish. Okay. I got to have fun. Number 2, I play for my bandmates, because if I'm not having fun and doing my job, then how can my bandmates have fun? And number 3, we play for the audience. And if the audience is not having fun, go back to rule number 1. Am I having fun?
I like that.
It's really simple. And if you just follow that progression, the crowd is always going to have a great time. So you got to learn to just relax and be like, guys, we've done this long enough. Let's rock out. Like, don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. Like, I love to point out my misgivings, just because if I can laugh at myself.
Yeah, for sure. And something I'd like to share along those lines as a songwriter, people that may not realize it, but ask Siri or whatever you listen to play Graceland Ninjaz on whatever service you use. We have a full album of originals and several remixes by Bobby that are killer. Some of my favorite stuff are Bobby's remixes of our songs. But anyhow, it's all original stuff. And we always sneak in our originals there, and people usually just go right along. And if it's a cold crowd, because it's in the same vein. But when it comes to songwriting, my rule number 1 is, when it's flowing, let it flow.
Let it flow.
I could show you this, I've got these are all song ideas. Okay. I never stop. And I always record it might be just like, a song about, I get a good example. John was running on a riff he just had this riff, and just like, something needs to go happen with this riff. And I was doing a tour for the Navy for David Chicken, my kids show, which we might talk
We're fixing to dive into that one.
Okay. And so they sent me around the world, and I had literally just landed in Japan. Okay. And I get a text and from my wacky cousin who lives up in Illinois, who's always coming up with things. He says, song title, Pop the Trunk. I was like, Okay, song time. So I sent that to John. I came back and then he had worked some stuff up. Then we came back and worked it together, And so my point is, when it's flowing, let the ideas flow. Do not let an idea pass you by. Even if you're deep busy doing something, record that idea and check it back later. And rule number 2 for songwriting is, if it's not flowing, don't try to force it.
Cut it.
Just be done. Then it's gonna be bad. Don't say, I'm going to sit down and write a song today about frogs, or whatever. Just let it flow when it needs to flow. You'll have tons of songs. I've written hundreds and hundreds of songs.
Where did you guys go in Japan? Did you fly into Yokosuka or Narita?
Oh, let's see. I played in 4 or 5 different spots there. I played in Sasebo, Nagasaki.
Yep.
Where's the one where we have a giant Navy base and it's
Yokosuka.
No, there's another big base. Okinawa.
Okinawa. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. And there were 2 others that I can never come up with. But
the reason I ask, I lived there for 3.5 years. I actually climbed Mount Fuji and I still have my Fuji stick. So when people say, I went, but we lived off base, but my dad was stationed there for 3.5 years. So I lived in Japan for 3.5 years.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful.
Oh, it's incredible. And the people are really, really nice. They're deep in culture and history, and the food. I happen to love Japanese food. So if you've never been and you've thought about it, go to Japan on vacation. You'll love it. It's downtown Tokyo. Holy cow. It's lights and sound overload.
Well, funny story. They drove me right past Tokyo. I got to see Disney Tokyo, and I'm like, I want to go. But then they're like, we're not playing in Tokyo, sorry. But we went to Yokohama, which is right down the road from Tokyo.
Yep.
And that was the first base I stayed at, and I could see Mount Fuji from the base. I was just, But so funny story. It was like I walked into Blade Runner. They took me down. I had some guides there, and took me down to the train station. We took the train into Yokohama. And I want some Japanese food. And I'm a big sushi fan. I'm thinking everything's sushi. What they loved where I went was a lot of meat on sticks. They love meat
yakitori. They love yakitori. Oh my Lord. Okay. Yakitori. So you get beef, you get chicken, you get squid, you name it. And it's like 50 yen. It's really cheap. And you got outside vendors with these grills. Like we'd have a hot dog stand. They got little yakitori stands. And you're like, I'll take a half dozen beef, and I speak very little Japanese at this point, but and it's just, there you go. That's your snack, or humbao, one of the 2.
Okay. Well, we go walking around in Yokohama, and it's just like we went into Blade Runner. I mean, it's kind of misty, it's dark, and people have their umbrellas out and stuff, and I'm like seeing lots of neon and stuff. And they lead me, of all places, into an American heavy metal bar. And he's got Marshall half stacks all along the wall, and they're playing like Ozzy, and Anthrax and stuff. I was like, is this reality? What is happening here? It's just amazing. Just like I go to the other side of the world and they're playing the stuff I grew up on. I was like, I have that guitar and I have that amplifier.
Wow. I would love to go over, now that I'm older, with one of my bands and play, because I think they will eat it up, and they are fanatical.
Yeah. We should do a joint tour. Basket Case and the Ninjas over to Japan. Dude.
I'm in.
Domination right there.
Well, oh my Lord, I'm in. That would be an easy one to sell.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay. I am totally, I could talk to you forever about the Ninjas, but I have to go on another topic. You've got a couple things. I want to talk about your kids because you do books for kids, correct?
Well, it's all musical based,
but still for kids.
Yeah.
Tell me, and I already know kind of the answer, but tell me why and how you got into it.
Well, it's kind of tangentially linked to the Ninjas, really. I was just always the guy. I've been entertaining kids since I was a kid. I have vivid memory when I was 8, dressing up like the Easter Bunny, so the younger kids could sit on my lap and tell me about what they want for Easter or whatever, And then I was always the guy at the party or the wedding, reception that would end up entertaining the kids. And somebody just said, you should just entertain kids. I was like, well, maybe I'll just make an album. So I worked up an album with Jason Gonzalez, the original drummer of Graceland Ninjaz, who has played on every single David Chicken. There's 3 albums. I'm about to release a 4th album. And we just made an album and a bunch of songs that didn't quite, I was like the elf that wanted to be the dentist. and those reindeer,
Yes, I love him.
Yeah. That was kind of like me. I was in college and there's like bands I was playing in, kind of rock or hip hop. And I'd come up with a song that was a polka about, brushing your teeth or macaroni and cheese or something. Like, this is not going to fly in a heavy metal hip hop band, So all those songs I had compiled, Jason and I recorded this first album. And I just thought, well, that'll be a flash in the pan one-time deal. But much to my surprise, when I actually did the whole thing, I'm a graphic designer and I designed the whole thing. And so it looked pretty nice and I got it around. And then people started telling me, lots of parents at the time, we like this music because it's not just like, drum machine and rapping in your closet. I mean, we went to the studio and did it right. And I had good local musicians. I'm notorious for mining musicians from the Balcony Club, which if you haven't been to the Balcony Club, go there. It's the only, in my opinion, it's the only club that could be that in Dallas that could also be in New Orleans. That and maybe the Freeman, which I love New Orleans.
Really?
And just such talent, Balcony Club. So I'd go to the Balcony Club and find somebody I like, I'll pay you $50 to play a solo on this song. And they're like, what's the song about? Well, it's a song about superhero chihuahuas. They're like, okay, whatever. So my God. I had this album with quality material on it that parents like too. They're like, this is not driving us crazy. This is pretty good music. So then I was like, maybe I'm onto something. So then I just started playing shows, and then, now my thing these days is I play tons of library shows. It's very seasonal. I'm going to do a tour of South Louisiana libraries in July. I'm playing the Arboretum in April, I think. Just look up davidchicken.com. I'm playing North Park. It's funny too. I've been doing this so long. If you go to North Park Center, like where the big orange sculpture is outside of the ANC downstairs, that's where I play. And this is the first post-COVID show they just booked. I'll be back there. I don't know. It'll be on the website. It's coming up soon. Anyhow, kids will come by who are now like 18 or 19, and they'll be like, you played my birthday party when I started. I was doing birthday party. I was like, awesome. Well, come join the show. Here's a microphone. You know the songs. And they'll just join right. And that's an honor to me. And there's like, you really, the biggest honor is when they say, I started playing guitar or singing or something. Guitar when I was a kid, and I'm just like,
Dude, that is incredible. And it's funny because I tell people when I get done with the show, if a kid comes up to me, I always give them sticks and everybody goes, isn't that expensive? I don't care. That may be the next generation of musician because he got a stick, which means nothing to me. I go through a zillion of them. But if I will give a kid a stick over an adult. No offense, guys. But the kids really are just like, wow, I got a pair of drumsticks. And the parents hate me because the kid's going to go and hit everything. Stop hitting the dog. It's not a drum set. Like, yeah, but his skull sounds so good. Like
this over here. You see that little kit right there?
Yeah.
And I got get the kids on there. And you know what?
That is great.
But you know what? Rick? I believe the children are future. Let them lead the way.
Oh my God. Sexual chocolate.
That's right.
I just watched that again recently. And there you can quote that movie. Oh, there's a zillion reasons.
I was quoting Whitney.
See, and it's funny. I know it's a Whitney song, but I always go back to Eddie Murphy, who used it in Coming to America.
Yeah.
My Lord.
Love it.
You're like, thanks, Rick. You went down the wrong road.
No, I like that one too. But I was going back to the original. Whitney was gone too soon.
Whitney was I don't want to get. That's another loss. Huge one. Mm-hmm. The other one the other thing that I wanted to talk about. I know we're running out of time. Dude, you got to talk about the kitchen.
Okay.
Is it Mama's Kitchen?
It's Mama Chicken's Kitchen.
Mama Chicken's Kitchen.
Yeah, in honor of my mom, Mary Jane McMahon, who was, which by the way, look up David Chicken on YouTube. You'll see a bunch of videos. And if you really want to be entertained, look up Mama Chicken's Kitchen. And you'll see my mom rapping. She would go to the shows and just rap. And my name's Mama Chicken. My beat is the kitchen. The dishes I make are quite delicious. My recipes shine. I make them mine. Cooking up good food all the time. That's right. I get the kids. What's my name? Mama Chicken. Mama Chicken.
Oh my God! I wish your mom was still here. I want to have mom on the show now.
Oh man! Thank you, man.
My Lord!
My name's Mama Chicken. My beat is the kitchen. The dishes I make are quite delicious. My recipes shine. I make them mine.
Yeah.
Cooking up good food all the time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Come on.
My name's Mama Chicken. What's my name?
Mama Chicken, Mama Chicken.
My name's Mama Chicken. What's my name?
Mama Chicken, Mama Chicken.
That's right. If you step in my kitchen, you best have skills. Cause I've got the skills to pay the bills. I've got turkey, stew, and pumpkin pie. Tastes so good it brings a tear to your eye.
Boo-hoo. Come on.
My name's Mama Chicken.
That's right.
What's my name?
Mama Chicken, Mama Chicken.
My name's Mama Chicken.
Everybody.
Uh-huh. What's my name?
Mama Chicken, Mama Chicken.
My name's Mama Chicken.
Come on.
What's my name?
Mama Chicken, Mama Chicken.
My name's Mama Chicken.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. What's my name?
Mama Chicken, Mama Chicken.
That's right.
That is what it's about, though, is again inspiring the kids. And now, but Mama's Chicken's Kitchen, you're feeding the homeless, correct?
Yes. So when she passed, it actually started while she was still alive, but we didn't have a name for it. I'd be going to visit her house. I grew up in Oak Cliff, and I go visit her in Oak Cliff every Sunday. And she would ask what I had, she'd prepare things sometimes that I would take to the homeless people. And she'd always want to know about updates and stuff. And the thing that just blew my mind and really kind of put me in this trajectory originally was I was going down there and I was taking some dog food back home. I had a little Chihuahua. This is kind of a very sad story, actually, but I had given out all the things that Mom and I had to give to these people. And one person said, "Do you want that bag of dog food to eat for themselves?" And they didn't have a dog. I was like, "Do you want this?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll take it." So there's a lot of bad stuff happening on the streets of Dallas, people. And anything you could do to help people, the biggest thing that I run into is people think, well, they choose to be there. No, they don't necessarily choose to be there.
Not everyone.
No,
not everyone.
I've gotten to know these people. I've been doing this for like 8 years now, and I've gotten to know a lot of them. And so often it's a series of unfortunate events. Okay. They lost their job and they got a roommate moved out. All of a sudden they can't pay the rent. And then they're just like, oh crap. And then they're on the street. And then once you're on the street, you're in a catch-22 because you need a address to really get back on your feet. And then one person put it like this to me one time. I was like, "You try living on the street." At that time, there was a big tent city downtown. We were taking them to supplies to. Like, "You try living in this tent city, especially as a female, for a month and see if that doesn't mess with your head." And so, then they end up, there's mental issues that can happen. There's all kinds of things that we could be doing, in my opinion, to help them get rehabilitated. But in the meantime, my wife, Sarah, and I started this program, this organization. It's a 501c3 nonprofit, Mama Chicken's Kitchen. And it's mamachickenskitchen.org. And if you want to, one thing you can do is on Amazon Smile, do a search for Mama Chicken's Kitchen. It'll pop right up and you can help donate a little bit. Everything you buy through Amazon goes to the organization. And so we put together these bags. Right now, this is what we've been doing for the most part since, that's the URL right there, since COVID. We used to go down there and feed like hundreds of people with my buddy, Chef Joey Alete, who has since moved to Vegas.
We love Chef Joey. He's a dear friend.
He's awesome. And I got a whole other story about him real quick. I know we got to go. But Bombas Socks, support Bombas Socks. Okay, because they donated, I'm not lying, $20,000 worth of brand new to Mama Chicken's Kitchen. So we give them toothbrushes, we give them all the good stuff, everything you need, and put them in food. There's also food in here, and feminine supplies, all kinds of stuff. And we go down there, and I load up the car with my kids and my buddy Forrest quite often, and we go down there and just get them out to people. And it's anything you could do to brighten a person's day, even if it's just, the other thing that I hear is you can't help everybody. No, that's true. But what if you brighten the day of just one person?
One person.
Just one person.
Just one. And that's why I say when you meet people on the street, just smile. You don't know. Somebody could be having the worst day of their life, and a simple smile and a hello, how are you? That may be it. But that could change the course of someone's life. And people say, "Oh, Rick, you're always so happy." I'm not always so happy, but it doesn't take that much extra energy for me to smile and just be happy and say hello to people, because you don't know what people are going through. David, when we get off camera, you're going to have to give me a bunch of information, because you're going to change how me and my wife shop, because we shop at Amazon Prime like daily. Awesome. We're going to change how we do it. If knowing that part of that will go to help people, a part of the you're going to change how we shop completely. And you got to send us all the links, because you will see them somewhere here, up here, down the sides. Mr. Rose, they're probably already there. I'm just saying, if we can, as we look, or right across my face is okay too. It's if we can help people, man, why would you not? You have a piece of my heart now. Oh my Lord.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I'm going to tell you right now, would you be open to letting me come down with a camera like one day when you guys are feeding people, and we could do an episode just on that part. Nothing. We don't have to talk about music. Just about that. Do a segment. Would you be okay?
Absolutely. Yeah. I would love that. That'd be amazing. And one thing that I encourage friends, I mean, people reach out to me sometimes and say, hey, we want to come and do a drop or whatever. And I encourage people to bring their kids, because I've been bringing my kids since they were about a year old, and now they're 6 and 4, and they go every time, and it's eye opening, just like we live in we're very fortunate to be in this situation. And then she sees things on YouTube Kids, like these people with like $1 million mansions. She's like, why aren't we rich? I was like, sweetheart, watch this. And I gave a man a tent the other day. He's like, I'm going to go set up my mansion. And he was not being sarcastic. He's like, I've got a mansion now. Thank you. I've got a tent, and I've got some clothes and stuff and some socks. And I was like, you got to keep things in perspective. Wow. By all standards, we are rich with love, and we have a home, and you're not going hungry. So I don't want to hear more about why aren't we rich, child.
No. And honestly, let's be honest, folks. It doesn't matter how much junk we accumulate here. When we're gone, it stays here. It's not about how much garbage we have. And I'm no different. I mean, I got drum sets. I got crap. Do I need it all? No, because when I die, it stays here. It's about what imprint you leave on others. And I'm fallible. I have my mistakes too. I'm human, but try to do good. And when you do wrong, raise your hand and go, hey, let me fix this and try to do better. And I know you're like, really? I'm like, trust me, I have to raise my hand a lot.
Hey, and it's true. The love you take is equal to the love you make.
It's you give because the joy of giving, not because you expect anything in return. It's truly just the joy of giving and helping. That's the reward. And there's nothing more to be said. I promise you, I'm going to bug you. Oh my Lord. Good. I did not know Mama's Chicken's Kitchen.
It's Mama singular.
Mama Chicken.
Because her name, or just if you get confused, think my name's Mama Chicken. That was her.
Mama Chicken.
Mama Chicken's Kitchen. It's her.
You know I'm slow. Mama Chicken.
No, it's a common mistake. If it wasn't named after my mom, I would rename it. But it's just like I gotta.
No. You gotta leave it in there because of Mom. I want to make sure that we can help promote that out there. Now, I would seriously love to come down, do an episode. Just let me follow you around. Let's do an episode where we show people, and if we can get other people involved, I mean, heck yeah. I know we've done it for breast cancer, can stick it and help raise money for breast cancer, which is huge. I guarantee we can help raise some money for people that are that they've got less than they need. Or more than they need, and they can give it to people that need. There's, oh my Lord.
Unlike a lot of charities, there's not a big overhead. This is my wife and I running it. So other than we pay for a little storage unit to keep a lot of these supplies in, that is the overhead. The monthly storage unit. Everything else goes directly to buying the supplies.
That's awesome. And the fact that you're a 501c3 is incredible. I'm very well aware of what that means. So it's a great nonprofit. So holy cow, dude. This is not long enough. I hate the fact that we have to go. Promise me, not just what we do. Come on and do another interview, or maybe get together.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe, like you said, we could do one in person.
Oh, I definitely want to do one in person, and I definitely want to come follow you. And when you play out at North Park, correct?
Yes.
You play at North. You got to let me know. I want to come out. I want to come watch.
Come out and bring some percussion, dude. Bring some percussion.
Don't even tell me.
That show, the kids are the star of that show. I'm like the ringleader, and I bring instruments for all the kids. And a good buddy of mine named Brian Bush, who plays accordion, he's played with us at House of Blues shows. He comes and plays some of the shows. I've got a dear friend, Diane, Dan Whiting, who makes sure the kids have the instruments. And so I've had people sit in with me with all kinds of instrumentation and vocals and everything else. So
even bring a bunch of eggs out, because believe it or not, it sounds simple, but kids, you give the little eggs, you get kids involved, and all of a sudden they're like, I'm making music, and you're like, yes, you are. Like there's a ton of percussive stuff. We could bring like a basket out and just set it there, get the kids involved, and then afterwards they could just take it. Like we could get some printed up, super cheap, as giveaways to the kids as well. You and I definitely have to. Definitely.
I love it.
David, thank you for being my guest. Oh,
it's June 22nd. Wednesday is when I'm going to be at North Park. That's 22nd. A Wednesday. But you would think it would be weird on a Wednesday, but moms bring their kids. There's like tons of kids there. So if you can swing it at 10:30 a.m. North Park, June 22nd.
Yeah. Oh my God. And send me a reminder, because I will do an announcement for it just for the sake of doing it, man. That is incredible.
Can I do one more poll real quick?
Plug away. You definitely.
Oh, and please, by all means, please follow Graceland Ninjaz on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, all the good stuff. GracelandNinjaz.com for all of our upcoming gigs. I'm happy to report that as of January, we have more gigs booked for this year than we've ever had in a January since the band's been in existence. And their quality shows. People want to rock, so we're going to be bringing it this year. So please come catch a show. And if you haven't, I guarantee you will have a good time.
I will guarantee you will have a good time. I have a blast every time I go. And my wife's like, you haven't stopped smiling. The mashups are incredible. And yeah, trust me, I'm like the idiot kid that wants to run around on stage with you. I'm just saying, it's your shows are incredible. If you've not seen a Ninja show, get off the couch, put down the ho-hos, go see a Ninja show. I promise you, you will have a good time. I mean, you're not just gonna have a good time. You're gonna have a great time.
And there's a good chance one of these big shows coming up. House of Blues is saying they want to have us back this year, which I would love that to happen. One of these big shows like House of Blues, whenever it's announced, I'm, believe it or not, good friends with a fellow who was Vanilla Ice's dancer in Ice Ice Baby. And he wants to join the Ninjas on stage doing some dance. I'm just like, we opened for Vanilla Ice a couple of years ago. And I was just
awesome.
like, and so I was just like, dude, please. So that one will be well promoted when he's going to join us. So that would be
well.
Because we do a mashup of Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby with Smells Like Teen Spirit. We call it.
I've seen that one. That's a good one.
All right,
you guys are incredible, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Definitely, I'm going to be bugging you. You're going to be like, Rick, please, I'm going to block you. Go away.
Well, Rick, thank you for having me. I appreciate it, man. Much love.
Anytime you want to come on, you just got to let me know. And for those of you, if this is your first time watching, thank you for watching. Go to Facebook, like us, invite your friends to like us. If you're in a local band, post your stuff there. We do the Concert Connection concert calendar every week. We announce it Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. You want me to announce it? Let me know. Send it to me. If you don't always watch Facebook and you're like, well, where else can I follow you? We're on iHeart Radio. We're on Spotify. Obviously, we're on Facebook. We've also got Instagram. We've got YouTube, we've got Twitter, we have a Roku channel and an Amazon Fire channel. So if you can't find us out there, we've got a lot of different venues. We're reaching people. And for those of you that are watching us in Europe, South America, and Australia, New Zealand, thank you for watching. Yes, we are located here in Dallas-Fort Worth. We always appreciate it. And for those of you all over the U.S., when you come to town, come find us at one of the shows, because I promise you, I don't just say in the pit for a reason. We're normally, if we're not on stage, we're in the pit at a show somewhere, hanging out, enjoying some live local music. So there you guys go. Dave, what a great interview. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm looking forward to the fact that we'll get to hang out again soon.
That is mutual, brother. And hey, may the force be with you.
Oh, May 4th is my son's birthday. And I could, as a Star Wars nut, I couldn't have planned it better if I tried, which I
that's
wasn't.
awesome. That's awesome.
So yes, May 4th is big at our house.
Very cool. Yeah.
Oh my Lord. This has been David. I am Rick, and we will see you somewhere in the pit.